Hello, my dear students. Welcome to our channel, Maths for All. This is Sudhakar Reddy. Today, we are going to discuss some x square plus take this minus lambda x to this side. It will become plus lambda x. So then this is lambda minus 1x, that is plus lambda x. If you take x as a common term, then that will become 2 lambda minus 1 into x. 2 lambda minus 1 into x minus 2 is equals to 0. This is a given quadratic equation. Let us assume alpha, beta are the roots of this quadratic equation. So alpha plus beta is equals to 1 minus 2 lambda. Alpha beta is equals to minus 2. Alpha beta is equals to minus 2. Sum of roots, product of roots. Now what he is asking? He is asking the value of lambda. For that, what is the condition is such that the sum of absolute values of the quadratic equation, sum of absolute values of the roots, absolute values of the roots of quadratic equation, sum of absolute values of the roots of the quadratic equation. That means he is asking about alpha, mean modulus of alpha plus modulus of beta. The sum of absolute values, this alpha is a root, absolute value of a root is nothing but modulus of alpha, absolute value of another root is nothing but modulus of beta. The sum of absolute values of the roots of quadratic equation has the least. If this value is the least, then what is the value of lambda he is asking. So modulus of alpha plus beta is asking. So modulus of alpha plus beta, for that I am going to consider modulus of alpha plus modulus of beta whole square. Modulus of alpha plus modulus of beta whole square. Just expand it. Alpha square plus beta square. That's the modulus of alpha whole square is alpha square. Modulus of beta whole square is beta square. Plus 2 into modulus of alpha into modulus of beta, that is modulus of alpha beta. That is modulus of alpha beta. So now we have a formula for alpha square plus beta square, that is alpha plus beta whole square minus 2 alpha beta plus 2 into modulus of alpha beta. So what is alpha plus beta? Is 1 minus 2 lambda. This is 1 minus 2 lambda whole square. 1 minus 2 lambda whole square. Alpha beta is minus 2, this plus 4. Alpha beta is minus 2, modulus of alpha beta is modulus of minus 2 is 2, it is plus 4 again. So modulus of alpha plus modulus of beta whole square is nothing but 1 minus 2 lambda whole square plus 8. So modulus of alpha plus modulus of beta whole square is equals to 1 minus 2 lambda whole square plus 8. Of course, if the absolute values of the roots of the quadratic equation has the least. So here the square of the sum of the absolute values of lambda is this one. So if this value is least, then what is the value of lambda is asking. So let us say this is f of lambda. This is f of lambda, that is 1 minus 2 lambda whole square plus 8. For maximum or minimum, first order derivative should be equal to 0. So f dash of lambda is equals to, the derivative of this one is 2 into 1 minus 2 lambda into the derivative of inner term is minus 2. For maximum or minimum, first order derivative should be equal to 0. So this is, from this we can say that 1 minus 2 lambda is equals to 0. So that lambda is equals to 1 by 2. Lambda is equals to 1 by 2. We got only one value for lambda, so that at that particular value, but this value is minimum. If modulus of alpha plus modulus of beta whole square is minimum at lambda equal to 1 by 2, then modulus of alpha plus modulus of beta is also minimum at lambda equals to 1 by 2. So here the answer for this question is lambda equals to 1 by 2. Okay. The next question is like this. Let capital N be the set of natural numbers, and function f is defined from function f is defined from n to n, capital N to n, such that f of n is equals to n plus 1 by 2 if n is odd, n by 2 if n is even, then f is the options are like this. The first option is 1 1 but not, first option on 2 but not 1 1, second option 1 1 but not on 2, third option both 1 1 and on 2, fourth option neither 1 1 nor on 2. So let us see. So here the function is defined from n to n. Acha. So here the domain is natural numbers, codomain is also natural numbers. Let us say this is n and this is n. The function is defined from m to n. So the natural number starts actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. Now the function is defined like this. F of n equal to n plus 1 by 2 if n is even. Suppose if you want to calculate f of 1, that means I'm going to substitute 1 in the place of n. Is 1 even or odd? So 1 is odd. So f of 1 value is 1 plus 1 by 2, because if n is odd, we have to use this function. So f of 1, so 1 plus 1 by 2, it is 2 by 2. So the image of 1 is 1, isn't it, right? Now I am going to find out the value of f of 2. So find out f of 2. So 2 is even. So when n is even, you have to use this function. So f of 2, it is 2 by 2, 1. So then what is the image of 2? 1 itself. So yeah, the image of 1 is 1, the image of 2 is also 1. In a similar way, the image of 3, f of 3 is nothing but 3 plus 1 by 2, 2. The image of 2, the image of 3 is 2. Similarly, the image of 4 is 2. See, f of 4 is 4 by 2. That means here 1 and 2 have the same image, 3 and 4 have the same image, 5 and 6 have the same image, like this. So therefore, is it 1 1? What is the definition of 1 1 function? Distinct elements in set A have, if distinct elements in set A have distinct images, then the function f is said to be 1 1. So here 1 and 2 have the same image, 3 and 4 have the same image. So it is not 1 1. So is it onto? Yes, definitely. Here every element in this codomain have pre-image. No doubt about it. 1 has 2 images, so pre-images. 2 have 3 pre-images. So 2 has 2 pre-images. Similarly, 3 has 2 pre-images. 4 has 2 pre-images. That means every element in the codomain must have 2 pre-images here, not 1, 2. So that means clearly that function is onto but not 1 1. Why it is not 1 1? Because 1 and 2, 3 and 4 like this. 1 and 4 have same image, 3 and 4 have same image. So the function is not 1 1 but it is onto. Clear? So the answer for this question is the function is onto but not 1 1. So first option is the correct answer. The next question like this, let s is equals to x comma y belongs to R square such that y square by e power r plus e power minus r minus x square by e power r plus e power minus r is equals to 1 where r not equals to 0. Then S represents, the options are like this: an ellipse with eccentricity, something is given with r less than 0, an ellipse with eccentricity with r less than 0, an hyperbola with eccentricity greater than 0, an hyperbola with eccentricity r greater than 0. We give the options like this. So first of all, the given equation is like this: y square by e power r plus e power minus r minus x square by e power r plus e power minus r, that should be equal to 1. xy square by e power r plus e power minus r minus x square by e power r plus e power minus r, that should be equal to 1. Both are e power r plus e power minus. So no. This is e power r plus e power minus r. This is e power r minus e power minus r. Sorry, this is e power r minus e power minus r. Okay. Acha. So first of all, what is the equation of hyperbola? X square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 1. X square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 1. Acha. So multiply with minus sign. Multiply with minus sign. So x square by e power r minus e power minus r minus y square by e power r plus e power minus r, that should be equal to minus 1. So I multiplied with minus 1 here. So now this is of the form x square by a square minus y square by b square equal to minus 1. So x square by e power r minus e power minus r minus y square by e power r plus e power minus r, that should be equal to minus 1. That should be equal to minus 1. See here, e power r plus e power minus r is always positive. It never be negative. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. E power r plus e power minus r is always positive. Positive. So this is always positive. If this equation represents an ellipse, this value must be positive. That means e power r minus e power minus r. If this equation, not an ellipse, sorry, if this equation represents an hyperbola, then e power r minus e power minus r, that should be positive. Then only this equation is of the form x square by a square. A square means e power r minus e power minus r. As you all know, a square is always positive. So e power r minus e power minus r should be positive. That means e power r is greater than e power minus r. E power r is greater than e power minus r. So from this we can say that e is greater than 1. So there is no change in inequality. E power r greater than e power minus r. From that r is greater than minus r. So from this 2r greater than 0. So that r is greater than 0. R is greater than 0. So if this equation represents an hyperbola, then r should be greater than 0. R should be greater than 0. Suppose if this equation represents an ellipse, so don't multiply with a negative sign, e power r minus e power r should be negative. So then if this value is negative, then negative into negative positive, so that equation becomes x square by a square plus y square by b square equals to 1. So if this equation represents an hyperbola, so then r should be greater than 0. If r greater than 0, then the equation is like this. This equation is of the form x square by a square minus y square by b square equals to minus 1. And now this is called conjugate hyperbola. The eccentricity of this hyperbola is square root of a square plus b square by b square. That is, the eccentricity of that hyperbola is a square plus b square by b square under root, because that is a conjugate hyperbola. So now the eccentricity of this hyperbola is square root of, here a square means e power r minus e power minus r, plus b square means e power r plus e power minus r by b square, but not a square, because this is a conjugate hyperbola. This is e power r plus e power minus r. Here e power minus r gets cancelled. So that is e is equals to square root of 2 e power r into e power r plus e power minus r by e power r plus e power minus r. I multiplied and divided with e power r plus e power minus r. So e power r plus e power minus r into e power r plus e power minus r is e power r plus e power minus r whole square. Then it will become square root of e power r plus e power minus r whole square is nothing but e power r plus e power minus r. So finally e is equals to square root of twice e power r into e power r is e power 2r plus e power r into e power minus r is 1 whole by e power r plus e power minus r. So the eccentricity of this hyperbola, is twice into e power 2r plus 1 by e power r plus e power minus r. So the set S represents hyperbola if r greater than 0 with eccentricity e is equals to square root of twice e power 2r plus 1 by e power r plus e power minus r. So this is the way of approach for this question. So represents hyperbola with eccentricity twice e power 2r plus 1 by e power r plus e power minus r when r greater than 0. So the option for this question is C. Right. Now, a plane which passes through, plane which passes through which passes through 1 comma 1 comma 1, a plane which passes through 1 comma 1 comma 1, such that sum of perpendicular distance from 0 comma 0 comma 0 and 2 comma 2 comma 2 to the plane is maximum. To the plane is maximum. To the plane is maximum. Then the plane can also passes through. Then the plane can also passes through. The plane can also passes through. Here the options are like this. First option is 6 comma 5 comma 1. Second option is 3 comma 4 comma minus 4. Third option is 4 comma 3 comma 2. Fourth option is 3 comma 3 comma 3. Right. Equation of plane which passes through 1 1 1. Here, the equation of plane passing through x1, y1, z1. The equation of plane passing through x1, y1, z1 and whose DRs of normal to the plane are ABC. The equation of plane passing through x1, y1, z1 and whose DRs of normal to the plane are ABC is given by the equation of plane is A into x minus x1, that is 1, plus b into y minus y1 plus c into z minus z1 is equals to 0. This is the required plane. This is the equation of plane passing through x1, y1, z1 and whose DRs of the normal to the plane are ABC. A into x minus x1 plus b into y minus y1 plus c into z minus z1 is equals to 0. Achha. Such that the sum of the perpendicular distance from 0 comma 0 comma 0 and 2 comma 2 comma 2. Suppose, let us assume this is the plane. So now this is the normal to the plane. This is the normal to the plane. Achha. So now from 0 comma 0 comma 0 and 2 comma 2 comma 2, we have to find out the perpendicular distance to the plane. So sum of the perpendicular distance is maximum. So here it is very clear that there will be a concept in the three-dimensional geometry. So if the line segment joining these 2 points, parallel to the normal to the line, normal to this plane, the line segment joining these 2 points, parallel to the normal of this plane, then the sum of the perpendicular distance is maximum. What is the concept? The line segment joining these 2 points, if the line segment joining these 2 points is parallel to the normal to the plane, then the sum of the perpendicular distance from those points to the plane is maximum. So DRs of line joining 0 comma 0 comma 0 and 2 comma 2 comma 2 is DRs of 0 comma 0 and 2 comma 2 comma 2 are. So how do you find out the DRs when 2 points are given? This is x1 y1 z1, this is x2 y2 z2. When 2 points are given, the DRs of the 2 points are x2 minus x1, that is 2, y2 minus y1, z2 minus. So these are the DRs of the line segment joining these 2 points, and here A, B, C are the DRs of normal to the plane. So in this case, the line segment joining these 2 points must be parallel to the normal to the plane. Okay, so the normal DRs are ABC and the line DRs are 2, 2, 2. Okay, if the two lines are parallel, then what is the condition? A1 by A2 is equals to B1 by B2 is equals to C1 by C2. So therefore, A by 2 is equals to B by 2 is equals to C by 2. So therefore, A is to B is to C is equals to 1 is to 1 is to 1. 1 is to 1 is to 1. So therefore, you can take the value of A is 1 and the value of B is 1 and the value of C is 1. So the required plane is, A into, that is 1 into x minus x1 plus 1 into y minus y1 plus 1 into z minus z. That is x minus 1 plus y minus 1 plus z minus 1 equals to 0. So the required plane is x plus y plus z is equals to 3. X plus y plus z is equals to 3. Okay, so which option satisfies? Let's check. The first option is not correct. Second option, 7 minus 4, 3. So second option is the perfect answer. So second option is the correct answer for this one. This is the process, isn't it? Okay, we'll go for the next question. Area traced by points x comma y satisfying x square plus y square minus 4 less than or equals to 0 and x square plus y square minus 4 is less than or equals to 4y. Area traced by the points x comma y satisfying x square plus y square minus 4 less than or equal to 0 and x square plus y square minus 4 less than or equal to 4y. So whenever this type of inequalities are given, to find out the areas, first of all, we have to take the equality condition. The first one is x square plus y square is equals to 4. This is the first one. And the second one is x square plus y square minus 4y minus 4 is equals to 0. X square plus y square minus 4y minus 4 is equals to 0. Acha. Here the first one, x square plus y square is equals to 4, represents a circle whose center is 0, 0 and radius, it is of the form x square plus y square equal to r square. So it is 2 square whose radius is 2. So the circle should be like this. This is the circle. Isn't it? Acha. And the second one, x square plus y square minus 4y minus 4 equals to 0. So the center of this circle is 0, 0, 2 and the radius of this circle is square root of g square. 0 plus 4 minus c plus 4. So radius of this circle is root 8. So the center of this circle is 0, 0, radius is 2. So this point is 2, 0 and this point is minus 2, 0 and this point is 0, 2 and this point is 0, 2. Acha. So this is the first circle. What is the second circle center? 0, 2. Acha, here it is. That is the center of the circle. And the radius is root 8. It is more than 2. It is more, this distance is 2. But the radius of that circle is more than 2. Acha. So once observe, just substitute 2, 0 in this equation. 4 plus 0 minus 4. Acha. So 2, 0 satisfies this circle. That means this circle is passing through 2, 0 as well as minus 2, 0. So the circle should be like this. right? So this is the first circle, x square plus y square equal to 4, and this is the second circle, x square plus y square minus 4y minus 4 equals to 0. Now take the inequality. C has given x square plus y square minus 4 less than or equals to 0. That means we have to find out the region which lies inside of the circle. Which lies inside of the circle, and that inequality also is less than or equal to 0. So x square plus y square minus 4y equal minus 4y less than or equal to 0. In that case also we have to find out the region which lies inside the circle. So that means we have to find out the region which lies inside of both the circles. So that means we have to find out this region. You have to find out this region. So for that, see, I am going to find out this region first. So this is nothing but area of semicircle of small circle, area of semicircle, right? This is semicircle of this first circle. So area of circle formula pi r square. So area of semicircle pi r square by 2. So pi r square means 4 by 2. So I got this part. Okay. After that, see, let us see. See this one. Is this part a sector of this circle? So this is the sector of this big circle. Area of sector formula half r square theta. Area of this sector formula half r square theta. If you find out area of that sector, you will get this region plus as well as this triangle region. After that, I am going to subtract this triangle region. I am going to subtract after finding this region. What is area of sector? Half r square theta. So whose sector it is? This is the sector of larger circle. So that is half r square. What is the radius of larger circle? 8. R square means 8. Theta means the angle made by this sector at this center of the circle. How do you know? It's very simple. The slope of this line, say 2 by minus 2. The slope of this line is minus 1. 2 minus 0, 0 minus 2. The slope of this line, so 2 minus 0 by 0 minus of minus 2. 2 by 2, 1. So the slope of this line is minus 1 and the slope of this line is plus 1. So product of slopes minus 1. So this angle is pi by 2. That angle is pi by 2. So half r square theta. R square means radius of this larger circle, and theta means angle made by this sector at the center of the larger circle. That is pi by 2. Okay. So sector area means this part plus area of this triangle. So now if you subtract this triangle part, if you subtract this region, then you will get this sector, this part only. Okay, so area of triangle formula half. Base means distance between these 2 points. What is the distance between minus 2 comma 0 and 2 comma 0? 4. So minus half. Base means 4. Height means this point 2. So this is 2 pi. This is 2 pi plus 2 2s are 4. 4 gets cancels in 8 2 times. 2 pi plus 2 pi minus 2 gets cancels. 4. So the answer for this question is 4 pi minus 4. No need to integrate. No need to integrate here. If you trace the curve properly, you can find out the area very easily by using that concept. Clear? Right. Next question is like this. If three distances, if the three distances of the vertices vertices of triangle ABC from the points of contact of the in circle with sides are 3, 4 and 4 then in radius of the triangle ABC, then in radius of triangle ABC is K, then K square is equals to. So read the question carefully, it is very, very important. If the three distances, what distances? Three distances of the vertices of triangle ABC, so there is a triangle here, these are the vertices of triangle ABC. He has given the three distances of the vertices of triangle ABC from the points of contact of the incircle. So there is an incircle like this, Achha. So this is the point of contact, okay. So first vertex is A, so from this point of contact to the vertex A, the distance is 3. And similar, from this point of contact to the vertex A is this distance is 3. From this point of contact to vertex B, the distance is 4. From this point of contact to the distance, so from the vertex B is distance 4. From this point of contact to the vertex C, the distance is 4 again, and this distance is also 4 again. Point of contact to the vertex A, point of contact to the vertex B, point of contact to the vertex C. See this point, this is the distance from point of contact to vertex A. This is the distance from point of contact to vertex C, from point of contact to vertex C. See, he has given the sides of a triangle indirectly. So, what are the sides? The side opposite to the vertex A is small a. So, small a is equal to 8 he has given. So, small b is equals to total this 3, this 4. So, small b equal to 7 and small c is also equals to 7. Now, we know that S is equal to a plus b plus c by 2. So, S is equal to, so 8 plus 7, 15 plus 7, 22 by 2, it is 11. S is equals to 11. Now, we have a formula delta is equals to square root of S into S minus A into S minus B into S minus C. So, delta is equals to square root of, so 11 into, so S minus A, 11 minus A 3 into 11 minus 7 4 into 11 minus 7 4. Sir, why you are going to find out the values of delta and S, sir? So, he is asking in radius. So, you have a formula in properties of triangle, small r is equals to delta by S. But in radius is given that K, he is asking about K square. So, here K is equals to delta by S. So, therefore, K square is equals to delta square by S square. So, delta is under the square root. The delta square is nothing but, no need to write a square root, 11 into 3 into 4 into 4 by S is nothing but 11, S square is nothing but 11 into 11. Here 11 gets cancels. So, it is 48 by 11. The value of K square is 48 by 11. So, this is the process for this question. Clear? The next question is like this. Next question, evaluate integral 0 to 2 pi step of sine 2x into 1 plus cos 3x dx. Evaluate sin 2x, step of, here step, this is step, integral 0 to 2 pi, step of sin 2x into 1 plus cos 3x dx. This is an important question. Let us say this is equal to I as first equation. Now, here I am going to apply the property, that is integral a to b f of x dx is equals to integral a to b f of a plus b minus x dx. Integral a to b f of x dx is equals to integral a to b f of a plus b minus x dx. So just apply the property here. So I is equals to integral 0 to 2 pi, or simply integral 0 to, you can use the formula, not a to b, integral 0 to a f of x dx is equals to integral 0 to a f of a minus x. This is called King rule. Integral 0 to f of x dx is equal to integral 0 to f of a minus x dx. So here a means 2 pi, a means 2 pi, so that is sine 2 into 2 pi minus x, that is sine 4 pi minus 2x, isn't it? Isn't it? Instead of x, what we have to write? Instead of x, what we have to write? 2 pi minus x. 2 into 2 pi minus x, so the 4 pi minus 2x, 4 pi minus 2x into 1 plus cos 3 into 2 pi minus x ante cos 6 pi minus 3x, cos 6 pi minus 3x or dx. So here 4 pi minus 2x, 6 pi minus 3x. So 4 pi minus theta, 6 pi minus theta, 2 pi minus theta, 4 pi minus theta, 6 pi minus theta, 8 pi minus theta. These are all belongs to fourth quadrant. So 4 pi minus 2x belongs to fourth quadrant, 6 pi minus 3x is also belongs to fourth quadrant. So I is equals to integral 0 to 2 pi, this is step of, so 4 pi minus x belongs to fourth quadrant, in fourth quadrant sine is negative, so minus sine 2x, this is minus sine 2x into 1 plus 6 pi minus 3x is also belongs to fourth quadrant, but in fourth quadrant cos is positive, it is cos 3x dx. Let us say this is equation number 2. Now I am going to add 1 and 2. So 2i is equals to, the first equation is integral 0 to 2 pi, step of sine 2x into 1 plus cos 3x dx plus, so here the limits are same, you can write it in a 1-to-1 integration, you can write in 1-to-1 integration, step of sine 2x into 1 plus cos 3x plus step of minus sine 2x into 1 plus cos 3x, 1 plus cos 3x whole dx, whole dx. Here once observe, so this is step of sine 2x into 1 plus cos 3x, this is step of minus sine 2x into 1 plus cos 3x. So this is of the form step of x plus step of minus x, step of x plus step of minus x. So the property of step of x plus step of minus x is equal to minus 1. The property of step of x plus step of minus x is equal to minus 1. So this entire value becomes a minus 1. So therefore 2i is equals to integral 0 to 2 pi minus 1 dx, minus 1 dx. So minus, what is integration for 1 dx? Minus x. If you apply the limits 2 pi, so therefore 2i is equals to minus 2 pi, 2i is equals to minus 2 pi. So the answer for this question is I equal to minus pi, I equal to minus pi. Okay. So these are all some important questions for JEE Main 2020. Okay, so please watch the videos completely and please utilize it. Okay, so thank you. We'll meet in the next session. Bye bye.